Hi there, my name is Vivian. I want to show you how I made this very bare bones drag and drop flash game using Macromedia Flash 8. The end product should look like this. You're going to have your static backdrop, your static model, and your movable objects here. I also have a play and mute button there that does play music and correspond to clicking them. So if I hit play, it starts the music. If I hit mute, this is entirely optional, but if you would like to know how to do that, I'll show you at the end of the video. So to get started, you want to create a new scene, so a new Flash document. If you don't have all of Windows here, just go to Window, Workspace Layout, and hit Default. That'll fix it. Now, I did make all of my assets through Photoshop, but there is an in-program editor here. You can draw, create symbols, fill in, erase. It pretty much has all the basics, although I do prefer Photoshop. I made each of my assets in here. My backdrop is set to 1920 by 1080, and then I have all of my assets and my basic decal here for the body set to what I need it to be. They're all PNG files, and I exported each one on their own, and then I imported them into Flash, File, Import, and import to library. Now, I do have quite a few, so I'm only going to start off with 4. So the backdrop, the body, and just 2 pieces of movable object. When you import them into Macromedia, they're going to go over to the library on the right, and they'll show up as bitmap. Now, to get started, again, we'll go back to what I said the size was for my backdrop. You're going to notice that your default size here for the canvas is 550 by 400. To fix that, you just want to select the background. Under Properties, go to Size, and just edit it to the corresponding width and height. So 1920 by 1080. Now that you have the canvas ready, you can just drag and drop, and that's it. So I'm going to drag and drop each image that I have here, and that's all I need to do. So to get started, even though you have them here, you need to select each one individually, right click, convert to symbol. This is very important for any object that is a static that will not be moved. You'll need to set that to graphic and just name it whatever you want. The registration I don't know too much about. By default, I think it's top left. I have it set to the middle one. Now you are going to notice that the backdrop completely covered everything. To fix that, if it does it for you, is you want to select it again, right click, go to arrange, and then press the corresponding option. So for me, send it back, since everything will be above it. Now I have the backdrop done. I'm going to set the next unmovable static object. I'm going to select it, right click, convert to symbol, graphic, corresponding name, and that's it. Now for the movable objects, so these 2 for instance, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to select it, right click, convert to symbol, but instead of graphic, you're going to do movie clip. And select the next one, right click, movie clip. Now the next part that you need to do is you're going to select the movable objects, and you're going to press F9. This is going to open up actions. If you don't have function 9 on your keyboard, go to Window and select Action. It'll pull this up. If you don't get this and instead you get this is because you haven't selected movie clip. So you just want to make sure you have the right object selected, or that you converted it to the right type. The code that's going to be put in here, I'll leave it in the description, or you can pause the video and type it in yourself. Once you put it in, just make sure it's okay. The script contains no errors, and then you go on to the next one, press F9, copy and paste, and that's pretty much all I have to do. Now to test it out to make sure it works, just like before, Control Enter, and you'll have your display here, and I can drag and drop my assets onto the static image. And that's pretty much all you need to do. Now, if you want to make a play and stop button for music, to do that, you want to go to Window, Common Libraries, Buttons, scroll down until you get to Playback Flat. You're going to want to double click it and add play and add stop. Now they are really tiny. So to fix that, you can click it and then go to Properties, and you can update the width. Right below it is the height. To the right, the X is where it's placed on the screen. So just you only need to worry about the width and the height. Or you can select the transform and just edit it yourself. Now to make it correspond with music, you want to double click each one. It'll open up this. You're going to see under timeline, you want to select down. It doesn't matter if it's any of these boxes, just as long as it's under down, you're good. And under properties, you're going to see sound. Mine says none. I have an MP3 already uploaded. The way you can do that is you just go to File, Import, Import to Library, and just upload it. It'll go to the right here. The type will be sound, and you'll see a little speaker here, so you know it worked. But yeah, so I have it set to sound. For sync, you need to set that to the corresponding button. So this is stop, and then that's it. Click out of it, click onto the next one, select down for sound, have it set to the same exact one. Sync, this one is start, so I press start, and that's it. So now if you test it out by hitting Control Enter, you can now play and stop the sound. And you can still move the objects around. Once you have that finalized, my finished one is here. I have everything. You go to File, Export, Export Movie, save it somewhere. It'll show up like this. I don't edit too much here, but you can play around with it. Just hit OK. It'll save it to your folder. Now, the one thing about Flash is that most browsers, if not all, no longer support it. So I use Ruffle, which is a Flash emulator. You can add it as a Chrome extension. You can download it to your computer, or you can add it to your website using JavaScript. You just copy this and put it into your HTML. An example, it looks like this on my website, so I can actually display my Flash game here for people to play it. I don't have it uploaded, so that's why there's an error here. But if you don't have that and you just want to make sure it works, Ruffle does have a demo. Top right, select demo. It'll open up this. Select file, find where you saved the game. It should look like this. And everything will work the exact same way as it did when you edited it in the Flash. You can move it around and all that stuff. But yeah, I hope that was very helpful and at least easy to follow so that you can make your own Flash game here, whether it's a dress-up game or anything else. This program's pretty bare bones, and it's definitely old, and there's probably a lot better ways to do it, but I missed out on that whole era, so I thought this was really fun to do, and I'm just getting started. I wanted to play around with my art and find things to do with it. Hi, thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in my journey on learning how to code in regards to HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and making mini Flash games for my website, I will be posting all the content here and the breakdowns for it. Bye!